years and a half. There is no mistake at all. We walked over to the city hall in the nearest town, and took out our license, and were married." "Very well. I will take you home to your father and mother, now. Then see this man myself. If there is indeed no flaw in the marriage, and it cannot be annulled, a divorce must be arranged. Any money I have or expect to have would be a small price to set you free from the miserable business. But the first thing is to get you home. We will start now." She detained my hand when I would have signaled our waiter. Her eyes, shining and solemn as a small child's, met mine. "No, cousin, please. I am not going home any more. At least, not alone. I asked you to bring me here where he is, because I am going to stay with my husband." "Never," I stated firmly. "Yes." "Not if I have to send for your father and take you home by force." "You cannot. I am of age." "Phillida, I am responsible for you to your parents tonight. Let me take you home, explain things to them, and then decide your course." "But that is what I most do not want to do," she naively exclaimed. "You will not?" "I'm sorry, no." "Then I must see the man." "Not hurt?" I recalled the man we had just seen on the skating floor, with a qualm of quite unreasonable bitterness. That anxiety of Phillida's had a flavor of irony for me. "Hardly," I returned. "There are fortunately other means of persuasion than physical force." "Oh, but you cannot persuade him to give me up." I was silent; at which, being a woman, she grew troubled. "How could you?" she urged. "You have had no opportunity of judging what influence money has on some people, Phil." She laughed out in relief. "Is that all? Try, cousin." "You trust him so much?" "In everything, forever." "Then if I succeed in buying him off, promise me that you will come home with me." "If he takes money to leave me?" "Yes." "I should die. But I will promise if you want me to, because I know it never will happen. Just as I might promise to do anything, when I knew that I never would have to carry it out." "Very well," I accepted the best I could get. "I will go find him." "There is no need. He is coming here to our table as soon as he is free." "I will not have you seen with him in this place." "But I am going to stay here with him," she said. Her eyes, the meek eyes of Phillida, defied me. My faint authority was a sham. What could be done, I recognized, must be done through the man. We sat in silence, after that. Presently her gaze fixed aslant on me as if to dare my interference, she drew up a thin gold chain that hung about her neck and ended beneath her blouse. From it she unfastened a wedding ring and gravely put the thing on her third finger, the schoolgirl romanticism of the gesture blended with an air of little girl naughtiness. She looked more fit for a nursery than for this business. I could tell from the change in her expression when the man was approaching. I rose, meaning to meet him and turn him aside from our table. But Phillida halted me with one deftly planted question. "You would not leave me alone in this place, cousin?" Certainly I would not leave her alone at a table here, not even alone in appearance while I had my interview with the man close at hand. Yet it seemed impossible to speak before her. She calmly answered my perplexity. "You must talk to him here, of course. I want to listen to you both. Indeed, I shall not interfere at all, or be angry or hurt. I know how good you mean to be, dear, only you do not understand." I sat down again, perforce. When the man's shadow presently fell across our table, it did not soothe me to see Phil thrust her hand in his, her small face enraptured, her fingers locking about his with a caress plain as a kiss. She said proudly, if tremulously: "Cousin Roger, this is my husband. Mr. Locke, Ethan, dear." He said nothing. His hesitating movement to offer his hand I chose to ignore. I admit that my spirit rose against him to the point of loathing as he stood there, tall, correct in attire, the focus of admiring glances from other diners, in every way the antithesis of my poor Phillida. "Sit down," I bade curtly, when he did not speak. "Miss Knox insists that we have our interview here. I should have preferred otherwise, but her presence must not prevent what has to be said." "It won't prevent anything I want to say, Mr. Locke," he answered. He spoke with a drawl, not the drawl of affectation, nor the drawl of South or West so cherished by the romantic, but the slow, deliberate speech of New England's upper coasts. It had the oddest effect, that honest, homely accent on the lips of a performer in this place. Phil drew him down to the third chair at the table. After which she folded her hands on the edge of the cloth, as if to signify to me how she kept her promise of neutrality, and looked fixedly at her glass of water instead of at either of us. Plainly, all action was supposed to proceed from me. "My cousin has just told me of her marriage," I opened, as dryly concise as I could manage explanation. "It is of course impossible that she should adopt your way of living, as she seems to have in mind. You may not understand yet that it also is impossible for you to adopt hers. No doubt you have supposed her to be the daughter of wealthy people, or at least people of whom money could be obtained. You were wrong. Professor Knox has nothing but his modest salary. Her parents are of the scholarly, not of the moneyed class. She has no kin who could or would support her husband, or pay largely to be rid of him. Of all her people, I happen to be the best off, financially. It happens also that I am not sentimental, nor alarmed at the idea of newspaper exploitation for either of us. It is necessary that all this be plainly set forth before we go further. Now for your side. You have involved Miss Knox to the extent of marriage. To free her from this trap into which her inexperience has walked is worth a reasonable price. I will pay it. I shall take her home to her father and mother tonight and consult my lawyer tomorrow. He will conduct negotiations with you. The day Miss Knox is divorced from you without useless scandal or trouble making, I will pay to you the sum agreed upon with my lawyer. If you prefer to make yourself objectionable, you will get nothing, now or later." He took it all without a flicker of the eyelids, not interrupting or displaying any affectation of being insulted. I acknowledge now that it was an outrageous speech to make to a man of whom I knew nothing. But it was so intended, summing up what I considered an outrageous situation brought about by his playing upon a young girl's ignorance of such fellows as himself. Phillida's usually pale cheeks were burning. Several times she would have broken in upon me with protest.